Here's what I know. Music connects us, even when nothing else does. This is Song to Story with Elijah Gil. Today, we have an amazing actor, amazing singer too, and a Bravaholic. The incomparable Harvey Guillén is in the building with us today. Harvey, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, before we get into things, I want to know all about Bravocon because, like, I saw the videos.
Yeah.
I saw the shade that was being thrown. I saw the post-Bravocon drama that went on. What was it like being there?
You know, I went because I'm friends with Bronwyn and from Salt Lake, and she was like, "Yeah, come and we'll hang out." And I was like, "When do you have time to hang out?" You know, because she's working. Right. But she was so kind enough to invite me, and then I invited my friend at the last minute. And she's like, "Should I go?" It's been her dream. She's a big Bravo-holic, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's tomorrow, and I didn't go. Get a ticket." I was like, "Get on a plane. Bravo's for the living."
Yes.
And she's like, "You're right. I'm gonna do it." She came with the best time, and some of the drama was actually some of the after parties, it was because you go into the con and it's for the fans and they watch them, and it was really nice to see the love that all these stars and our favorite shows get.
Yeah.
But it was like the after parties. That was kind of like we'd be sitting at a bar that no one knew on the outskirts of Salt Lake of Vegas, and it'd be like, oh my God, there's a cast of Below Deck and the cast of Southern Charm and the cast of, and they're all kind of mingling, but they're all kind of like
being shady in their own way.
People have beef with each other. It's not just for the cameras. Like people
they
genuinely have beef.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, and some people walking by and you'd be like, oh my God. And they'd be walking right by each other and you could just sense the temperature just drop 20 degrees.
So you guys got the inside scoop with
all
the tea and the drama. The VIP inside scoop. Yeah. You saw Portia?
I saw Portia. I saw Portia and I was like, I love Portia. But then I saw what happened to Portia afterwards at the airport, and I saw what the other lady said, and I was like, Karen.
Karen, 100% a Karen.
Come on.
Karen, you gotta go, Karen.
Come on, Karen, gotta go. I can already see it. You can read it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So before we get into things and the music and how music and songs bring us all together and getting to know your journey, I want to ask you a question. Do you know the #1 song on the day that you were born, May 3rd, 1990?
No, I do not. I do not know. What song was it?
Well, let's put our headphones on.
Okay.
And we're gonna listen. The #1 song in May 3rd, 1990 was "Nothing Compares to You" by Sinéad O'Connor.
Oh, okay. So sad.
R.I.P. Sinead.
Depression.
Sleep all day? Same girl.
Depression. Same girl. That could be a partier or a depression mode.
Right.
Yeah.
Preach.
Well, was she paying for the bill? Is that why? I can now go to a fancy.
That part.
Do you know what that tells me?
What?
She was paying for those bills.
It does sound like she was paying for the bill.
Doesn't it sound? I can go to finally I can go because I can't afford 2 fancy dinners.
Yeah.
But I can go to a fancy restaurant, but on my own now, because before, if I wanted to go, I couldn't because we couldn't split that bill.
Have you ever paid a bill for another man? Too many times. I think we've all been there.
I feel like it's always been what's yours is mine is yours kind of thing. But sometimes it feels like not everyone's at the same level at the same time in their career and life.
Yeah,
I've been there where I'm down to my last $20.
Yeah.
So it's if I'm gonna go out, it's oh, I don't know. But then for the most part, I'm very fortunate that I'm the one who's okay, yeah, I can want to go on this vacation or I want to go. And unfortunately for me, it's been with sometimes people who have been I'm not there, I'm oh, it's okay,
yeah,
I'll cover it. But then you're people can take advantage of that.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
take advantage of that, you know? And before you know it, you're like, this isn't like an even relationship, you know?
But now that you're like a household name and a lot of people know who you are, is it hard to date?
It is hard to date.
Yeah.
It's so hard to date just because people have I have people coming out of the woodwork who I knew years ago who we tried and connected and you know, flirted and stuff. And we're like, oh, we should hang out. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. And then it's like nothing happens. And then after years go by, all of a sudden they're like, we should still hang out.
Yeah.
And it's like, why now?
Exactly. Like you feel the, oh, are you trying to use me?
Yeah.
Are you trying to, like,
or it's like all of a sudden it's like, now I'm ready. It's like, it was 8 years ago that we tried to like date. And it's just like, yeah, it just took me that long. And now I'm ready to date. Let's go on a date. What event should we go? What date should we go to?
You got to give them the sure Jan.
Yeah.
Like,
sure Jan.
Sure Jan. Like, no.
Exactly.
No, that sounds like it's super hard. And I feel like.
And it is hard. And like you go on Raya or like whatever. And like people, I was like on a dating app and someone reported me as a fake.
Not a fake.
Because they're like, you shouldn't be using Harvey Guillén's picture. And I was like, how do you know I'm not Harvey Guillén? They're like, because I know he wouldn't be here. And I was like, well,
I'm here, bitch.
And it was also like, I had to prove myself, and it's like that's embarrassing to have to prove yourself on a dating app.
Yeah, no, that's totally weird, and people are weird. It's hard to date these days.
Yeah,
it's hard to date, and I listen to music when I'm feeling down.
Yeah,
listen to music when
you break up with someone.
When I break up with someone, music it really is my muse to everything. Now, speaking of Muse, right? You see what I did there?
Yes.
You see what I did there? You know, Muse is one of your favorite songs.
Yes.
And Uprising by Muse.
Yeah, by Muse, yeah.
And so I want to take a listen to this track by Muse called Uprising.
Yeah.
And we're going to dive deep into the lyrics.
I love this.
Headphones on.
I love the song. It's just the start of that scratch and just the pumping of that. It's just...
It like pumps you up. It like gets you hooked immediately.
I developed a whole show and movie concept idea just to this song.
Oh, really?
I heard this song and I was like, oh my God. And I saw the trailer in my eyes. Like I was like, oh my God, it's like this. It's sexy. It's like running through the woods and blah, blah, blah. It's like slashing. It's like whodunit. There's like murder. It's a mystery.
Ooh,
like all this. So music really kind of like makes my gears just start going like, whoa, this could be such a cool, this song. Also the words are very cool, you know? It's just, I love the instrumental. It's so rough, but strong. And if it makes sense, soft at the same time.
Yeah. It definitely has like a feel of, like it is uprising. So like for us as Latinos, us as queer people, it feels like it's an uprising. Kind of standing up for ourselves. And that's the message I get from this song.
Yeah. I love this. It's like, it pumps me up, like the injustice of that's going on in the world. Like this makes me like fight in the way that's like not necessarily physical and tangible, fight with every power that you have that you can use, which is your status, your ability, your connections, like make a difference in every way possible without having to get to physical altercation.
I love that, Harvey.
You know?
I love it. Sometimes you got do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. But there's always a way, and I think that song always pumps me up. And like, you know, when they're talking about like people filling their pockets and like, you know, fat cats and like all of the idea of like, you know, politicians and people in power, people running states, governments, nations, all of that. This always reminds me of like when things are like, oh my God, where are we right now in the state of the world? This song always makes me think focus, uprise. You can't just give in to it. You have to like unite and find people who are like-minded and make a difference.
Now you talk about politicians. When you see politicians pardon people who don't deserve pardoning, like I know years ago you played the iconic George Santos. And then to see him get pardoned and now he's out free and just...
The injustice sometimes that I see, I mean, that alone, I know was a character that I played, but that's a real person that the version of George that I played was a caricature almost. And he was like, they did a terrible job playing me. And I was like, well, girl, like, it's like, you're such a personality and character that like what you've done is really bad, you know? Like, it's like you've stolen money and like whatever. And to pardon something like that and to see people still in prison from like the 70s and 80s who had a joint in their pocket, it's kind of like crazy to think that like, wait, what? Like there's the injustice in like the way that our judicial system is set up and the way that prisons are run and privately owned. It's a machine, and so it's like to dissect that and to actually know what's going on is always the jaw-dropping moment. And once people realize it, they're like, oh my God. And like, yeah, that's what's happening. And it's like, oh, how come everyone's not talking about it? It's like, because we're so busy with the shifting of everything.
Exactly.
You need to uprise.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. But like you mentioned, like people are still in prison for having a joint to this day, and we could literally just walk into a weed shop and just get.
And do you think what do you think that feels like? Probably through bars, looking at that, like seeing like
I couldn't even imagine,
and being like, what? Like what are you talking about? Why am I here?
Exactly.
Working in like an indoor factory, making something for like pennies an hour.
And
that's
eating terrible food.
Eating terrible food because it's a privately owned, kind of facility and prison that needs you to stay in there, and it's so effed up.
It's disgusting. And we as a society need to uprise.
Uprise.
Exactly.
Uprise.
Now we got to talk about the next song.
Okay.
I want to talk about Clouds by Joni Mitchell as an album. It's such a beautiful album. And there's a sense of nostalgia there because that album came out in 1969. You're born in 1990. So are you a nostalgic person?
First of all, I love that it's 1990 because I think that's from a Wikipedia. And that's, people are like, oh, you're born in 1990. It's like, where did you hear that on your Wikipedia? So I'm not going to correct that because I love having my birthday being...
I'm 1990.
1990, that's fine. The mystery of my birthday is amazing. Who wrote that? I would love to know. But Joni Mitchell has a spot, like her recording the original version and then the kind of reprise of it is kind of like the difference of a life lived. And so when you hear the original one of both sides, and she's like, I looked at life, it's almost really light and cheerful and really, and then when you hear it when she re-sings it again as years have gone by, you hear the life that she's lived, and you hear it in the voice, and then the lyrics just land just a little bit different, which I always think is interesting when a professional, an artist revisits their work. Like when you hear, Judy Garland sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow and Wizard of Oz, and you hear her sing it as a full-grown woman later in life. It's different, and it hits different, and the lyrics mean something different. And I think that's why people resonate with songs that kind of impact our lives in that time and period that we're in, and then it will continue to impact us because tomorrow, we're not the same person that we were yesterday, and we're definitely not the same person that we will be tomorrow that we were today.
I love that. Ooh, that's a quote. That is a quote.
It's so true though, and the song will hit you differently tomorrow.
I think Joni Mitchell doesn't get her flowers enough.
No, she doesn't. I think people need to give her.
She's so good as a songwriter. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
As a singer, she's amazing.
Amazing.
And like, I think that she needs to be talked about when we talk about the greats because Joni is one of the greats.
One of the greats,
and we still have her. Thank God.
Thank God.
I think that we need to give her flowers
while she's still here. Yeah, and I think she's so. And the lyrics are just like, I think that song for me resonates whenever I think life is going a certain way, and like we've all been there. Like it's like even with success and stuff, for the 10 things you see that an actor books and films, you don't see the 25 things that you don't. And people forget that, and it's just like and it's just like it's also climbing up a hill. It's always like her lyrics are just so good, and like I looked at Clouds from both sides now. Just like it's pretty great.
I love that. Okay, so we're gonna play
let's play
a song from the album Clouds.
Yeah.
And the song we're going to be playing today is Both Sides Now. So let's get into it.
I love this. See, the way it starts is so light and folky, and playful.
Ooh, that falsetto.
That falsetto. And the possibility of like, it sounds like such a young life, and even though what you think because heartbreak at a young age is like the most treacherous thing, but it never gets easier. You just learn a lesson. And I feel like when you're young and everything's still like beautiful sunshine, when you start getting those life blows coming your way, they start like they start fading away, your sunshine and the lightness. And with Jo, like I feel like with her, she just does a great job of like being optimistic and the flowness of it.
And just living life.
But then somehow when she sings this song again in the future and you compare them, you're like, she's gone through a journey.
Yeah.
Like a journey. I really don't know clouds at all. You really don't know life. You think we have your whole life planned out at 20, at 30, at 40. It doesn't matter. You really don't have your life planned the way you thought it would be. And it's okay because that's life. It's supposed to be the way it's supposed to be.
Do you look back in life and think to yourself that you would do anything different?
I don't know if I would do anything different. I would be more no, I don't want to say more cautious about people or situations because those were all lessons learned. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't have the life I have now if I had a different route. So I wouldn't change anything. I would have to just go through it. Like the song, it starts off when she originally sings it so light and hopeful, and then when you sing it later, it's a lesson learned. So I think I take life, go forward, like just hopeful and thinking the best of people. And if they give you otherwise, then that's a lesson to learn. You learned a lesson, but don't change who you are because of one bad apple. Choose to be the good person in every situation.
Gems from Harvey Guillén, because that was a gem. That was a gem. But I want to know about your journey as in your queerness and coming out. Like, when did you first come out?
I mean, I already knew who I was. I feel like pretty young age, and I don't know why, but I assumed everyone else knew. I think I was pretty like myself and outgoing, and I think sometimes even with that, like being flamboyant, like people still didn't pick up on it. I remember like getting asked to dance in high school from girls like Sadie Hawkins, and then going to the dance with them. We're like, yeah, girl, let's go to dance, you know, and then be dancing with them, and my friend would come over and dance, and she would be a lesbian. She's a lesbian, and she would come and dance with me, and like my day would be like, hey, I'm with them,
like leave my man alone.
Leave my man alone. And I was like, whoa, what? No, wait. What? No, don't you know that? What? And then my friend who's a lesbian was like, wait, what? Don't you know
like,
that?
Did you not know?
Don't you not know that? And I was always like, wait, is that like, I always thought people, you know, are nice and they don't make assumptions, you know, but coming out was like I always think coming out is never for the person who's coming out. It's always for someone else. And I have a problem with the actual wording of coming out, because coming out isn't like a gay person or a queer person wakes up and goes, oh my God, I'm gay. I better tell everyone. It's never that feeling. Coming out has been something that you thought about and have questioned yourself and lost sleep over and feel sick over, because you feel, what are people going to do? How are they going to treat me? What will this do to my family life, my professional life, whatever it is. Coming out shouldn't be called coming out. When someone tells you that they're queer, they're not figuring out for the first time. This shouldn't be called coming out. It should be called letting you in. And when someone lets you in, what you do with that information is so vital to how they will process and proceed in the future with letting people in. So when someone lets you in, and it can go other two ways, they're like, that's perfectly fine. I love that. I love you. And they're like, oh my God, the sigh of relief. Or when someone lets you in and they're like, get out of my house. Or they let you in and they're like, I never want to see you again. People shut down. And so what happens is that house that you opened the door and said, hey, I'm going to let you in. Okay, be really careful. I'm really fragile with this information. This is my furniture. This is my room. This is my couch. This is who I am. This is a space to who I am. And people decide to tear that house apart. And then they shut that door and they look out the window and they never let people in again, because you did that with that information. And what you do with that information is so important. So when someone lets you in, take a second before you react to that, because it could be the last time they let someone in because of the way you react.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about being torn down. How has social media and being in the public eye been for you?
I mean, you know, people are going to say what they want to say behind a computer, you know, and it's like people can be brutal. People are, you know, you're not going to be everyone's favorite, you know. And for the longest time, I had this fear of like, oh my gosh, what if they don't like me, you know? And the second I let go of that, it's like, I'm going to be me. And by being me, I realized that I've helped people realize that they wanted to share who they were. I've had a 56-year-old man come up to me at a Comic-Con and said, hey, I watched your coming out episode on your show. And I just like, after a marriage, 3 kids, I told my wife. And I was like, wow, you told your wife that? And he's like, you always knew? He's like, yeah, I think she always knew too. And she was very nice about it. And she was very like, I'm glad you finally shared that. And I was like, what a great moment. But also to live a life up to 56 that wasn't authentically, but he had his life that he had with his wife and had children with her, you know, but it's never too late to start living your life.
I love that. And I love how you talked about the toxicity of people behind the computers, and the internet can be toxic.
Toxic, not Britney Spears song, which I also love.
You do also love, and it's also on the list.
It is on the list
of the songs that you love.
Well, I split it because I was like torn between two.
You were torn between Kylie Minogue and Toxic. We're gonna play Toxic by the incomparable Princess of Pop, Miss Britney Spears.
This song, I don't care where I'm at. See, just the orchestration chords.
This song was so iconic. The video was
a
so
movie.
iconic.
I remember watching this video and going,
Like literally, like back in the TRL days. I don't know if you young kids know about TRL.
For you youngins out there.
I used to call in MTV and request Toxic like nonstop.
R.I.P. MTV.
I loved this song.
This song is like the beats. It was ahead of its time. Like when I remember watching this, the plane flying, special effects going to the sun. The way it starts, it goes through this whole journey. Her like Pan Am outfit that's like vintage, and if you knew Pan Am like history, you'd be like, oh my god, that's like the old Pan Am, like like futuristic flight attendant outfits, and the movements,
Oh, and Britney was a dancer. People don't
dancer
forget.
First.
Like exactly.
Dancer first.
And she was a dancer first. Like don't have all the Instagram stuff that you see. People judge my girl Britney so much. Like that girl was a top tier dancer, and she
always said that.
Oh yeah.
She goes, I love dancing. I love dancing. Dancing is my number one passion. Like people are like, oh, her singing is her number one passion. Like no, singing is part of what she does as a performer, but dancing was always her passion.
Oh yeah.
And you see it whenever she's dancing.
Oh, she gave you the 1, 2, 3s, and like there's a reason why she's still iconic to us.
So iconic.
So
it continues
we
to
love
be iconic.
us some Toxic by Britney Spears. How do you feel about Britney these days?
I want the best for Britney.
Yeah.
I think she's living in Mexico. That's my home. But it's just like I want the best for her, and I think there's just like for years of being under a structure like work environment, life for her dad and everyone. Who knows what's going on and what does that do to your psyche? You know what I mean? Yeah. So we can't judge anyone for like now that they're free to do whatever they want. People are like, whoa, that's a little kooky and dancing with knives and props and whatever. Yeah. And it's like, well, imagine like for so long you couldn't do anything you wanted to do. Everything was structured for you. Your meals, your schedule, even the time you spend with anyone. But like I don't know what's happening behind closed doors. So all I want is the best for her.
I want the best for Britney too. I think so many people judge her.
Yeah.
Just let her live her life. I saw that she was with the Kardashians recently.
Yeah.
And hanging out. Like good for them.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy for them.
Live your best life.
Live your best life.
I don't think she has to work again. Like I think residuals from her music can let her have the life she's always wanted.
Right.
Let her live her life.
Let Britney live her life.
Let Britney live.
Let Britney live.
Let Britney live.
Now, last song that I want to get into. It's such a beautiful song that I absolutely love, and it is by the incomparable, the amazing Billie Holiday. This song, I'll Be Seeing You, to me is such a powerful song because it reminds me of all the people that I've lost in my life. And I know you've opened up about the losses in your life, especially in 2017 when you lost your dad. And I know that this song, it resonated with me thinking about the people that I lost. Yeah. And it gets me emotional. So I want to play this.
Oh, it gets me emotional too. So I'm like bracing myself for listening to it because I do love it.
And Billie has such a amazing voice.
It starts off with the notes and it sounds so uplifting and it's going somewhere that you're like, but then it goes into the trumpet. Ooh,
that opening.
In all the familiar places. It's just like, I can't even try to imitate her voice. It's just. Oh my God. The orchestration of this song is like, I keep listening to this on my best day, my best mood, and it puts me in an even better mood. And I can be listening to this on a day that I broke up with someone and it takes me in the complete opposite direction. It's the power of a song and writing and a voice like Billie Holiday that you can take a song and it's up to you. How do you perceive that song that day? Because to me, it could be so many things. And it reminds me of the people that I've lost and, in the years, whether it be no longer with us, their soul, has passed, or it could be a relationship, or it could be someone that you'll never see again, and lost connection with. It could be a friend that you'll never be friends with again, but you'll still have memories of them and wherever you look and all your favorite places. And the lyrics to this is just,
her voice
everything's
is so
light
gorgeous.
and gay.
Light and gay. No, we love Billie Holiday. We love this song. This song it definitely resonates with me. Like you said, you could lose someone that you love who's no longer with us, or you could lose a friendship or a relationship. And that's the thing about music. Music really does bring all of us together. I think that some of my favorite songs personally is stuff that I've experienced in the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. But I think the journey of where we are in music and how we are as people, music does bridge the gap.
It does.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that connects us, I think, internationally, is that our love for music. When people come together at a concert to see their favorite artist and they're next to someone who sees them the same way, and you people bond for life. People always say, I met them at a concert, or I met them at this concert that I went to, a music festival. And it was like, because you were surrounded by like-minded people who think like you and see this performer and love this performer as much as you do, and they connect and resonate with this, music as much as you do.
Now you talk about how music bridges the gap internationally. As a Latino, to see Bad Bunny take that stage for Super Bowl, what does that mean to you?
I think it's iconic. I think it's also very relevant, very meta, and it's very when half the population of the United States is Spanish speaking. Basically, doesn't mean that people who don't speak Spanish can't enjoy. You enjoy his songs. You've danced to his songs. You've listened to his songs on the radio, at the club. You've mimicked or tried to mimic the lyrics to a song that he sings. But I find it funny that all of a sudden there's this movement to be like, I want someone who speaks the language, and it's like, and what language would that be? He's like, why do we have someone from a foreign country? Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's a foreign country,
right? It's a part of the United States, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you mention all the states to me and countries that you think are separated from the United States? But just what's in the United States? What's the cities in the United States that you think that you can name off?
Geography, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, guys.
And it's the funny part is we want someone from America, and I was like, I don't know. Let's start off with the public school system and figuring out.
Right. Yeah. Come on.
Why don't we start off with the public school system and see how we can better that before we start assuming that Puerto Rico is not part of the U.S. And then we'll discuss what you would like to be seen as a performer at the Super Bowl. Let's start with the public school system first, and then we'll discuss.
Just so you know, if you don't need a passport to get there, it's a part of the United States.
Part of the United States.
Thank you.
The United States.
Now, for this past year, is there a specific song that you've loved that kind of resonates with your journey this past year?
Oh, God. I mean, I always go back to my favorites, even though I find new songs every year. I just feel like, last year was probably I was going through a bit of a breakup, I guess, in the last couple of years. And it was just lyrics you tell me get a job, and then you say, where the hell have I been? Can I just live? Is that all right with you? Lyrics like that with Lola, that just resonated with me for the reason that I was in my life in that situation, in that moment. It really resonated. And then you move on to a song that you're like, I'm in a good place, happy, having a good time. And then, God, what's that artist that just came out? Be the man I know.
Oh, Olivia Dean.
Olivia Dean,
She
was on SNL.
No, she could sing. I love
sing.
Man I
And she has this 1960s doo-wop girl.
I love her vibe. I love her look. She's gorgeous. The voice is amazing. We love Olivia Dean.
I love Olivia. And I was looking at her for the first time. I heard the voice and I didn't know what she looked like or anything. And then I saw her on SNL. I was like, okay. She's giving 1960s,
she was giving.
She was giving.
I think she's from the UK too.
Yeah. And I loved her look, her aesthetic. The song was already my favorite for this year. So I think I found a new favorite this year.
I love that. All right, so Harvey, I want to play a little game with you,
Okay.
okay? It's going to be a little this or that game, and the topic of discussion for the music is fame and the downsides of fame. But you're going to decide which song takes the ultimate role.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Let's get it. We're going to start with Fame by David Bowie or Candle in the Wind by Elton John.
Ooh. I would say Candle in the Wind because when it played at Princess Diana's, it had a whole different meaning. It now had a different meaning in that scenario, so I would say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Candle in the Wind by Elton John or Jenny from the Block by J-Lo?
Okay, different. I remember listening to that song over and over, and it was, for me, I will say, you might think whatever you think about J-Lo, but J-Lo, broke a lot of barriers for the Latino community, and Jenny from the Block for me was an aspirational song because it meant that this Latino boy from nowhere that was literally trying to make a name for themselves could make it happen. So for Jenny from the Block for me was a little bit of an aspirational song.
I could do it.
I could do it. Yeah, she did it. I could do it.
Right. Jenny from the Block by J-Lo or Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous by Good Charlotte?
I'm good with still with J-Lo. I mean, Good Charlotte's fun, but J-Lo still.
Jenny from the Block or Hollywood by Madonna?
Oh, okay. See how they both connect because it was aspirational with J-Lo, and then Hollywood was a little bit of a take a break because you're not gonna make it in Hollywood. Because it was like, don't be fooled by the rocks, and then Joe's like, everybody comes to Hollywood. They wanna make it in the neighborhood, and you're like, what? Stop it! Everybody loves it.
I'm just trying to make
and I was
it.
like, stop it! And it was just like that song was a little haunting for me, and it was a little bit like, don't even try it. Everyone comes to Hollywood. And you're like, stop it! Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got.
I'm still Jenny from the Block.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Jenny. Sorry, Madonna.
Okay, Jenny
She
from
would
the
hate
Block.
that.
She would. She'd be like, okay. Jenny from the Block or Lucky by Britney Spears.
Lucky, another Hollywood star.
Yes, a Hollywood
How
star.
do these all connect? Because that one was, but it's also a little bit tragic. This is a story about a girl named Lucky, and I was like, yeah. And I also love that music video.
Music video is iconic.
With a knock, knock, knock
on the door.
Yeah, that part always floored me. I was like, yeah. And she was like 1940s glamour.
Yeah, no, she looked
crying with
great.
her mascara.
Oh, that mascara was
running. And I was
running.
like, honey, waterproof.
Right. Okay, Lucky by Britney Spears or Rumors by Lindsay Lohan.
I'm tired of it. Yeah. Another one, like I think that song was made out of a necessity for Lindsay because she was being chased. And paparazzi. But I do want to go with Lucky still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucky by Britney Spears or When I Grow Up by Pussycat Dolls.
When I grow up. Yeah. Another aspirational song.
Yeah.
When I grow up, I'm going to be all these things. I'm going to be all these things. I'm still going to say Lucky.
Okay. Last one.
Okay.
Lucky by Britney Spears or Paparazzi by Lady Gaga?
No, I'm going to go with Paparazzi. Another showbiz song. I remember that I was living in Japan when that song came out. Ooh. And that for me was like such a reminder of the entertainment industry and Hollywood and all the darkness that it has, but also the art that it creates. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was like, oh, that sounds terrible. Paparazzi is what happens in Hollywood, but also in this story, it was like, I'll be your biggest fan. I'll chase you to the end, like a paparazzi. So it's being in love with someone, but also it was borderline stalkerish. It was a little stalkerish. And then she bled on stage. Remember that? She bled on stage. And I was like, oh God. And there was, I think it was around the time where people were having a lot of stalkers and stuff. So it was kind of like, ooh, it's very meta. Yeah. But very, I don't know. I love when art, like, is influenced by, what's happening in society. Yeah. And so that was what's happening in that moment. So I like that it's like a time vault. Yeah. It's forever in that time vault.
Art imitates life.
Art imitates life.
We love that.
Yeah.
So Harvey, what do you have next for you?
Oh my gosh, I have a couple of films coming out that I'm really excited about. I have my own Spotify show coming out.
Yes.
Killer Stories with Harvey Guillén.
We love that.
Which is super fun coming out.
When is that coming out?
That's coming out in the new year.
Okay,
so,
in the new year.
So it'll be really fun. And I get to like talk about real stories from the past, like horrific stories. Some are funny, but some of them are really dark and like how we forgot about like these kind of serial killers and dark moments in history, which is kind of goes with my brand of like, the show that I did for the last 6 seasons of Shadows.
We love
it. Very dark and morbid. So I'm really excited about that, but also have a film coming out with Josh and Billie, who we spent last summer filming in the desert, and it's called That Friend.
That Friend.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that one as well. So there's a lot of stuff coming out that you guys should check out. And also, everyone's favorite on Amazon, their number one is, Has Been Hotel, but their spinoff, Helluva Boss, is coming out, and I joined that cast as Visago.
You're a busy man.
I'm a busy man.
So 2026 is going to be the year of Harvey Guillén, because he's going to be all over the place.
Paparazzi.
They're going to be following you until they love you. Harvey, thank you so much for coming. And
Thanks
I appreciate you coming on this pilot episode of Song to Story. So thank you.
Keep watching.